Hello everyone, and welcome back to BB Zone where history meets the present. Last time we wandered the Oromo heartlands, where the Gadar democracy thrives, and horsemen guard traditions as vast as the savannah. But today, we ascend to a realm where faith is carved in stone and history echoes through mountain passes. Here the Amhara people, scribes of empires, warriors of God, forge a legacy as enduring as the highlands themselves. They gave Ethiopia its language, its soul, its crown, but also its deepest scars. From the rock churches of Lalibela to the blood-soaked fields of Tigray, their story is one of triumph, tyranny, and a nation teetering on the edge. This is the saga of the Amhara. Origins and history of the Amhara. The Amhara people trace their roots to ancient Abyssinia, a civilization that predates many modern nations. Linguistically tied to the Semitic family, their origins are deeply entwined with the rise of the Aksumite Empire, one of the great civilizations of the ancient world. It was from this cradle that the Amhara emerged as a dominant cultural and political force. Their language, Amharic, evolved as Ethiopia's lingua franca and remains the country's official language today. The Amhara are often associated with Ethiopia's medieval golden age, where literature, architecture and Christianity flourished under their stewardship. The medieval Solomonic dynasty, which claimed descent from the union of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, was closely tied to the Amhara identity. They were not just custodians of a monarchy, they were gatekeepers of history itself. From the emperors of Gondar to the imperial palaces of Addis Ababa, the Amhara have long been the pulse of Ethiopia's monarchy and statehood. 2. Geographical homeland, the highlands of power. The Amhara primarily inhabit the rugged highlands of northern and central Ethiopia, a region marked by dramatic escarpments, fertile plateaus, and historic cities like Gondar, the Camelot of Africa, and Lalibela, home to the iconic rock-hewn churches. Their homeland's elevation provided natural fortresses against invaders, shaping their warrior culture. Today, the Amhara region is Ethiopia's second most populous, with Bahir Dar as its capital, a city famed for Lake Tana's ancient monasteries and the Blue Nile's thunderous falls. 3. Culture and traditions, the keepers of Ethiopia's soul. Amhara culture is deeply intertwined with Ethiopian orthodoxy, which governs their rituals, art, and daily life. Their traditional clothing, white gabis, shawls, and Nutella woven wraps, reflects simplicity and elegance. Music plays a sacred role with the kra, lyre, and kebero, drums, accompanying both worship and celebrations. Poetry, particularly keen, wax, and gold, is a revered art form where double meanings convey wisdom and wit. Hospitality is sacred. Guests are treated with utmost respect, often served injera, sourdough flatbread, and tibs, spiced meat, as a sign of honor. Agriculture is the backbone of Amhara region economy, with small-scale farming dominating the highlands, where crops like teff, wheat, barley, and pulses are cultivated. The fertile highlands, part of the Ethiopian plateau, feature terraced fields and rugged mountains, while the lowlands, such as the Blue Nile Basin, support livestock herding and some irrigation-based farming. The region also has significant historical and religious sites like Lalibela, which attract tourism and contribute to local livelihoods. Despite its agricultural focus, the Amhara region faces challenges like soil erosion, deforestation, and periodic droughts. Urban centers such as Bahir Dar and Gondar serve as commercial and administrative hubs with growing trade, services, and small-scale industries. Lake Tana, Ethiopia's largest lake, provides fishing opportunities and hydropower through the Blue Nile. The landscape varies from lush highlands to arid lowlands, shaping the economic activities and resilience of the Amhara people. The Amhara are unique in their blend of religious devotion, historical consciousness, and cultural depth. Their resilience during invasions, such as the Italian occupation, and their fierce defense of national identity have earned them admiration and respect. Their capacity for leadership, storytelling, and preservation of ancient traditions makes them a cultural beacon. Literacy and education have historically been emphasized, particularly through religious institutions. Their discipline, hospitality, and sense of identity are among their most defining strengths. What about marriage and dating? Marriage and dating, love, negotiation, and tradition. Amhara marriages are often arranged with families negotiating dowries, yerus. However, urban youth increasingly embrace love marriages. Courtship is discreet, with public affection frowned upon. Weddings are grand affairs, blending religious rites with feasting and dancing. Divorce, though permissible, carries stigma. A unique tradition is telefer, kidnapping elopement, where a man abducts his bride-to-be, a controversial practice now fading due to legal reforms. Religion. The Orthodox heartbeat, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, is central to Amhara identity. Their faith, one of the oldest Christian traditions, incorporates Judaic elements like dietary laws and Sabbath observance. Monasteries such as Debri Libanos and Aksum's Ark of the Covenant Shrine are spiritual epicenters. Religious festivals like Timkat, Epiphany, and Meskel, Finding of the True Cross, are celebrated with vibrant processions and chanting. Despite modernization, the church remains a powerful social and political force. Amhara politics. Politically, the Amhara have traditionally been central players in Ethiopian governance. From the imperial era to the Derg regime and into the EPRDF and Prosperity Party eras, Amhara politicians have shaped national policies. Today, however, many Amhara feel sidelined. Political fragmentation within the region and conflicting interests have weakened their collective bargaining power. Regional parties like the National Movement of Amhara, NAMA, have gained traction, pushing for greater autonomy and defense of Amhara interests. The community now stands at a crossroads, torn between nostalgia for a united Ethiopia and the desire for regional assertiveness. Despite their strengths, the Amhara have not been without internal challenges. Accusations of elitism and historical dominance have sometimes positioned them at odds with other ethnic groups. The legacy of centralized governance, once beneficial, has occasionally created ethnic tensions in Ethiopia's federal system. Issues like land disputes in border regions, rural poverty, and underdevelopment in parts of the Amhara region persist. Furthermore, historical infighting between noble houses and lack of political unity in modern times have made them vulnerable during national power struggles. In recent years, the Amhara have faced ethnic violence, displacement, and political marginalization in some parts of Ethiopia. Clashes in regions like Oromia, Benishangul Gumuz, and Tigray have seen Amhara civilians targeted. There's also a growing sense of alienation from federal structures, leading to the rise of regional Amhara nationalism. Militia groups like Fano have emerged in response to perceived threats, complicating the national security landscape. The balance between national unity and ethnic identity remains a tense issue, with the Amhara caught in the crossfire of Ethiopia's political transitions. And what exactly are the Amhara known for? The Amhara are known for statecraft, literature, and religious scholarship. Historically, they were seen as the administrators, scribes, and educators of the Ethiopian Empire. They are often associated with political leadership and central governance, having dominated many of Ethiopia's monarchies and post-monarchic governments. Their architectural legacy, such as the castles of Gondar and the monolithic churches of Lalibela, still stands as a testament to their vision and engineering prowess.
This picture of me in my palace garden at Addis Ababa. People who see this throughout the world will realize that.
Renowned personalities. The Amhara have produced some of Ethiopia's most legendary figures. Several notable individuals from the Amhara ethnic group have played significant roles in Ethiopian history and beyond. Emperor Haile Selassie I, a prominent figure in Ethiopian history, is one example. Emperor Haile Selassie I, one of the most recognized African monarchs globally, was of Amhara lineage. The renowned resistance leader, Emperor Menelik II, defeated the Italians at the Battle of Adwa, a victory that stunned colonial Europe. Haile Selassie, a long-distance running legend, also traces his roots to this group. Other modern-day icons include Teddy Afro, a musical sensation, and Dr. Abiy Ahmed, Ethiopia's Prime Minister, whose heritage includes both Oromo and Amhara ancestry. These figures reflect the Amhara's impact across monarchy, military, music, and modern politics. Other historical figures include Emperor Theodros II, who consolidated Ethiopian power, and Gadla Lalibela, known for his architectural contributions. In more recent times, individuals like Asres Mare Damte, the deputy chairman of Fano Gojam, have emerged as prominent figures in ethno-nationalist movements. The Amhara have contributed immensely to Ethiopia's nationhood. From crafting national myths and religious philosophies to leading military defenses and political transitions, their imprint is everywhere. The national anthem is in Amharic. The capital, Addis Ababa, was founded by Emperor Menelik II. The very name Ethiopia as a unified state owes much to Amhara emperors who consolidated and expanded the nation's borders. From clergy to soldiers, from poets to professors, their fingerprints are deeply embedded in Ethiopia's soul. The timeless grace of the Amhara woman. In the heart of Ethiopia, where ancient highlands kiss the skies and legends walk beside history, lives the Amhara woman, elegant, resilient, and steeped in centuries of tradition. She is more than just a symbol of beauty. Clad in her flowing Habesha chemise, often embroidered with gold and silver threads, she moves with the quiet strength of her foremothers, queens, warriors, poets, and farmers. Her hair, often braided into intricate styles called shuruba, speaks the language of her lineage, identity, and pride. Her almond-shaped eyes, deep and reflective, seem to carry stories whispered through the corridors of Aksum and echoes from the monastic chants of Lalibela. An Amhara woman is a pillar of her home and society. From early dawn, she weaves warmth into the family with coffee ceremonies, roasting, grinding, and brewing in an aromatic ritual that binds generations. In times of celebration, she sings Kane poetry and dances the eskista, her shoulders shaking with precision and pride, as if her soul itself is speaking. To know the Amhara people is to see the soul of Ethiopia, and to know the Amhara woman is to understand that soul's heartbeat, fierce, dignified, nurturing, and eternally radiant. Folklore and worldview. Amhara. Folklore is rich with proverbs, parables, and mythical tales. Their worldview blends orthodox theology with ancient beliefs about spirits, saints, and destiny. Supernatural beings like Zar spirits play a role in healing rituals and community exorcisms. Stories of saints, emperors, and heavenly intervention fill their oral and written traditions. Wisdom is prized, and elders often pass down moral teachings through layered storytelling that reflects the values of patience, loyalty, and divine justice. The future of the Amhara people. What lies ahead for the Amhara? A rising youth population is demanding both tradition and reform. There's a resurgence of pride in Amhara identity, language, and religion. Yet challenges remain: economic inequality, political representation, and ethnic polarization. For Ethiopia to move forward, the Amhara must be part of the conversation, not as relics of a monarchic past, but as architects of a pluralistic, united future. Their future rests not just on political power, but on cultural diplomacy, inclusive dialogue, and visionary leadership. And there you have it, the untold layers of the Amhara people, a story of kings and cathedrals, of faith and fire, of endurance and elegance. From the mountains of Gondar to the heart of Addis Ababa, the Amhara continue to shape Ethiopia's destiny. If you've enjoyed this journey into history, culture, and identity, don't keep it to yourself. Click that like button, share this with a friend, and most importantly, subscribe to BB Zone for more gripping explorations of African peoples past and present. Your support helps us tell these powerful stories the world needs to hear. Until next time, stay curious, stay rooted, and keep exploring.